So, you send over this video, and it's from the Ring of Fire, and
Yeah.
it kind of got me thinking about Medicare and Medicaid.
Right.
Like, who's really looking at all that money and how it's being spent? Because they're making some pretty big claims in this video.
Yeah, they are.
About access to these payment systems,
Yeah.
Medicare and Medicaid.
Yeah, so this video,
Huge programs.
yeah, massive.
Massive.
They talk about Elon Musk
Right.
and some folks they describe as young,
Okay.
like 19, 25 years old.
Wow.
And they're connected to something called Doge.
Doge.
The video doesn't really explain what Doge is.
Okay.
But it claims that this group has been given like
Oh, really?
full access to the financial stuff
Full access.
of Medicare and Medicaid.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
that's a pretty big deal when you think about it.
It is.
I mean, how many people are we talking about here?
Well, the video says it's like
On Medicare and Medicaid,
140 million Americans.
140 million.
Yeah.
So it's not just like some small program.
No,
This is a big chunk of the population.
it's huge. It's the backbone of healthcare for so many people.
Absolutely.
And so when you're talking about access to these systems,
Right.
especially full access,
Right.
that raises some serious red flags.
Yeah. And the video really hones in on that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just who has this access, but how they got it.
Exactly.
They're saying these people weren't appointed by the government.
Right.
They didn't go through any Senate confirmation.
Yeah.
They weren't elected by anybody.
Yeah.
And they're saying these are young people without a lot of
Life experience.
experience.
That's how they put it.
Right, right.
So the video is kind of making you think,
Yeah.
are these the right folks to have this kind of power?
Right, like what are their qualifications?
Exactly.
I mean, you'd think something this important,
Yeah.
you'd want people with a lot of experience.
You'd think so? Experience in government or healthcare or something.
Exactly.
But the video says that's not the case here.
Now, to be fair,
Yeah.
the video does mention the official response to all this.
Right.
They say the White House has stated that the access is,
What is it?
it's read-only.
Read only. Okay.
So basically, these individuals can look at the data,
Mhm.
but they can't change anything.
Right.
They can't edit it. They can't even get into the code
Uh-huh.
to make any changes to the systems.
Right. So they're trying to say,
Yeah.
look,
Right.
don't worry.
Yeah.
These people can just see the information.
Yeah.
They can't mess anything up.
Right. But the video you sent doesn't seem very convinced by that, does it?
Not really, no.
They specifically call out Caroline Levitt,
Oh, yeah.
and they basically say
What do they say?
they don't trust her.
Oh, I see.
And they even imply that she might not even know
Hmm.
the full extent of this access.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So they're casting doubt. On the whole, read-only explanation.
exactly. They're saying even if it is read-only,
Uh-huh.
what if these individuals, could still somehow change something,
Mhm.
break the code,
Mhm.
destroy the payment systems?
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
scary.
They're saying it could lead to a total collapse
Wow.
of healthcare for 140 million people.
Yeah, that's a pretty dire prediction.
It is.
I mean, a collapse of Medicare and Medicaid,
Right.
that would be devastating.
Absolutely. And so the big question is,
Yeah.
why are they giving these people this access in the first place?
Right. What's the justification?
Well, the video says
Okay.
the reason they're given is to look for
Okay.
waste, fraud, and abuse
Okay.
in the system.
So they're saying these folks are going to root out the bad stuff.
Right. They're going to find where the money's being wasted, where
Yeah.
there's fraud happening,
Uh-huh.
and try to clean it up.
Right. I guess that makes sense on the
Yeah.
surface. Trying to make sure the money's being used properly.
Right. But the video really pushes back on that.
Oh, really?
They say you don't just find fraud by looking at invoices or looking at code on a screen.
Interesting.
They're saying it's not that simple.
So how do you find fraud then?
Well, they say the real way to find fraud
Okay.
is through investigations
Okay.
and audits.
So they're saying you need people who know what they're doing.
Right. You need experts
Yeah.
who can dig deep and follow the money.
That makes more sense than
Right.
just giving a bunch of data.
Right. To some random group and saying, find the fraud.
Yeah, find the fraud.
Yeah. And they even bring up
What do they bring up?
Senator Rick Scott,
Oh, yeah. I know him.
They mentioned that his company was allegedly involved
Oh, wow.
in some Medicare fraud.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Although they do say that he himself
Right.
was not personally implicated.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, but the point they're making is
What's the point?
this stuff happens,
Yeah. Fraud does exist.
Fraud exists and you don't find it just by
Right.
looking at data.
Right. You need to investigate.
You need to investigate.
Yeah.
So basically the video is saying
What are they saying?
that the whole reason they're given for this access
Okay.
is probably not the real reason.
So what are they really after?
Yeah. That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, we've got these really serious allegations.
Right.
They're saying they've given this huge access to really sensitive healthcare information to this group of young people who are connected to Elon Musk.
Yeah, it's a strange situation.
It is.
I mean, on the one hand, we have the official word.
Right.
They're saying it's just read only.
Right. Read only.
They're just looking for fraud.
Yeah.
But then you have the video. They're saying, don't believe them.
Right.
They're not telling the whole story.
Right. And that they're worried about the risks.
Yeah.
To the system.
To the whole system. Yeah.
Exactly.
So who do we believe?
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
It really makes you think.
It does.
I mean, if they're really just trying to find fraud, like they say, why not just do it the right way?
Right.
With audits and investigations.
Yeah. Why give this kind of access to people outside the government?
To these particular people.
Yeah. And with Elon Musk involved.
Yeah. It just adds another layer to it.
It does.
It really makes you wonder what's really going on.
It does.
And what it means for the future of Medicare and Medicaid.
And for all those millions of people who rely on them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot to think about.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what else they're not telling us.
Right.
What other information might be out there?
Yeah. And what other kinds of access might be being granted? Right.
It's not just about Medicare and Medicaid anymore.
No.
It's about the whole idea of data privacy and security.
Yeah, in a world where so much of our lives is online.
Right.
And so much data is being collected.
Yeah, who has access to it?
Right.
And what are they doing with it?
Big questions.
Big questions.
Definitely something to keep an eye on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing this to my attention.
You got it.
It's definitely given me a lot to think about.
Good.
I appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.